Welcome to our final video in this series. Thank you so much for your interest and for your increasing involvement in this huge global story of empowering and changing the lives of hundreds of thousands of landmine victims around the world. With me is John Mullen, who is the co-founder of HOW with Douglas Bowman. John, I'm still smiling from that homecoming scene from the last video. That must have been really emotional.
Yes, it was, Graham. It was one of those occasions where the atmosphere was almost tangible.
Wow. So you went on to write her story. Obviously, you're not just focused on giving one leg to one person. So something else happened to you. So tell me why you and Douglas wrote the book.
Well, we wrote the book because we really want the world to know her story. And in particular, we want to highlight the 10,000 Florencias that are in Mozambique that need our help.
So how do you plan to help that 10,000? That's a huge people group.
Yeah, well, like any young nonprofit, there's a great need for flexibility and adapting one's strategies and plans. A former CEO of an international corporation emailed me after learning of our story, and he was so moved by what we were doing. And he said, "I regard your work as a remarkable act of compassion." And he said, "But you're a long way from fitting one leg on one woman to fitting 10,000 legs with replacements every 5 years." And he challenged us to develop a proof of concept as an intermediate step towards a larger goal. And he suggested that we do this by just fitting 200 amputees.
So how would you go about doing that?
Well, here's our problem. There's 28 million people in Mozambique, of which there's 21 million that live in rural areas. So those that are amputees are not going to come to us if we put a clinic on the ground. We need to go to them. So we've come up with this concept of mobile medical clinics, where we can actually go in 3 regions of Mozambique, and we can move out into the villages, and we can fit and fabricate prosthetic legs for those who are amputees. But the question then became, for us, how do we implement this plan? And realized that I'd already seen the answer while in Malpur, India. I was invited by DR Meta when we were in India to go to a camp where they were fitting 500 prosthetic legs on amputees, and within a period of 30 days. And I was there and I saw it and I thought, we can do this. So HOW has now formed a partnership with RAD, which is Adarito's entity in Mozambique, Jaipur Foot, and then HOW International. And the 3 entities are coming together, and we'll be putting on a camp for 200 amputees this summer. But there are a couple things that occurred that we didn't anticipate.
So what were they?
You recall that DR Meta offered to train at no cost any Mozambicans to become technicians. Well, we raised funds to send some technicians to send some trainees from Mozambique to Jaipur, and we flew them there for 3 months of training. And the great news is Florencia was on that plane.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, so Florencia has become a certified technician with the 3 others, and she and her team are ready to lead us at the summer camp.
So John, you and Douglas probably have a wish list for Help One Walk. What would be on it?
Well, we do have a wish list, and first of all, we want anyone watching this to be fully aware of the tragic state of landmine victims in Mozambique and across the world. And we'd ask you to read Florencia's story, and then take that story and share it with your friends. And then support Florencia and her friends, the temporary camp this summer, and where we plan to put these mobile units in place throughout Mozambique. Our goal is to change the face of a nation. It's going to cost us almost $5 million to accomplish this goal. And we have to ask the question, is it worth it? Well, people will get legs, villages will be energized, amputees will be able to walk again, attend school, pursue a vocation, and like Florencia, have their dignity completely restored at no cost.
Wow, this is incredible. I mean, anyone can be involved in this amazing work for as little as $50. We're asking for people to become a sponsor in one of 5 ways. Buy a book and tell the story, get your family, church, or place of work involved, buy at least 1 leg or more on a regular basis, $50 for a leg, for a life. support one of the camps financially, sponsor a former victim to become a technician, or the ultimate really is buy a vehicle that's going to be a mobile clinic. Buy it with your family name, your church, your business name on the side panel, and be part of this fascinating and deeply impacting story. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for engaging with us.